Everybody get pen and paper. Here we go. All right. Okay. So this is part 2 of the product training. So we went in consumption. We also went through how Herbalife nutrition, Formula 1, 2, and 3 is the exact opposite of what Americans consume that make them so unhealthy. So in fact, if you want to know where the United States rates in the healthiest countries in the world ranking, and here in the United States we have the most food supply, we have the most medically advanced, and yet in all the countries in the world, the United States falls at 35th in the healthiest countries. There are third world countries that rank higher than the United States. And we rank number 12 in the most obese. So, you know, those numbers need to change. So when you take a look at, I mean, really, who is telling you to have a high sugar, high fat, high salt, eat as much red meat as possible, eat as many calories as you want, eat as much salt as you want, don't have any vitamins and minerals, don't worry about your fiber, you know, sit on the couch and watch TV all day and have a negative attitude? I don't think anybody is, and if they are, then you need to find another friend, right? Because what Herbalife is about how to have a healthy, active lifestyle. So let's start with our Formula 1, which is the healthy meal. And what's so amazing, and I mentioned this before, but I think it's very important that people understand that there is less, you know, because people goes, oh, can diabetics take this? Absolutely. And remember, if there was any type of person that couldn't, it would have to be listed on the label. But in the Formula 1, it's less than if a diabetic can eat a small apple, that's the same amount of sweetener that's in our Formula 1. It's like 9 grams. It's like nothing. But in the Formula 1, here's what Formula 1 gives you, the healthy meal. So write this down. Number 1, number 2, it gives you dietary fiber. Number 3, it gives you some vitamin. Number 4, it gives you some minerals. Number 5, it gives you unsaturated fat. So that is what the Formula 1 gives you. And by the way, when you look and find out what it is that the body needs, actually I need to put this ahead of everything else, because what the body actually needs on a daily basis, and this is for everybody needs protein, vitamins and minerals, needs unsaturated fat, needs carbohydrates, and needs water, and preferably healthy water, right, to survive. So that's what the body needs on a daily basis. So now with the Formula 1, you see that it gives you a protein, and it's a vegetable-based protein, not a animal-based protein. Gives you the dietary fiber, gives you some vitamins and minerals, and it gives you also unsaturated fat. And the unsaturated fat is actually what helps people lose weight. Formula number 2, what does that give you? Formula number 2 gives you, number 1, gives you vitamins. Number 2, write this down, minerals. Number 3, trace elements. Number 4, phytonutrients. Now, what are phytonutrients? That is the color that you see of fruits and vegetables. There's phytonutrients, and it's what makes fruit and vegetables have their colors. There is so much science linked to different colors helping with different things in the body to help fight disease and to be healthy. And then number 5, what it has, Formula 2, is it's in a base of fruits and vegetables. It's a proprietor, that's the word is, proprietary blend of fruits and vegetables. So when you combine Formula 1 and Formula 2, so you put Formula 1 plus Formula 2 equals optimal nutrition. So if people have made the mistake of thinking if they take Formula 1, they tell people, I've heard it, which is not true, They say, oh, it gives you everything your body needs. No, it doesn't. Formula 1 and Formula 2 will give the body optimal nutrition. So in my mind, if you are not using Formula 2, you're not on Herbalife Nutrition. You're missing a large portion of the vitamins and minerals that come from Formula 2. So that is why it's called Formula 1 and Formula 2. They were made in such logistically together. And when you take Formula 1 and Formula number 2, it's like if you took 4,000 calories worth of like organic food nutritionally, but you're only getting 90 calories per serving in the Formula 1. Now, Formula 3, Cell Activator. What Cell Activator does, and by the way, it's called Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3, which means they all go together, right? That is the core. That is the core health, right? And once you're on Formula 1, 2, and 3, then you add on other products that we're going to talk about that deal with different systems of the body, okay? So the core is Formula 1, 2, and 3. And if you haven't been using Formula 2 and you add Formula 2 in, you are going to absolutely feel a difference. Another reason why it's so important for people to have Formula 2 is because when you're missing a certain mineral or vitamin or whatever, it can make you have cravings. But I'll tell you, if you are low in one vitamin mineral, you're low in at least 3 to 4 other mores because they work together. Okay, so what Formula 3 does is it actually activates the cell, and what it does is it helps with absorption and the delivery of the nutrition from Formula 1 and 2 into the 70 trillion to 100 trillion cells in your body. Okay, so the Formula 1, 2, and 3 is absolutely essential for optimal nutrition. Then you can call yourself a health coach, okay? Now, we talked about the digestive tract last week, and I gave you some facts on the digestive tract. So we're not going to talk about that this week because you have it in part 1. But as I said, it's a 3-story building. It's 30 feet long. So and that is actually the very first line of defense for the immune system. And that also is very important. I showed you the difference between an unhealthy and a healthy colon in the small intestines where stuff is being absorbed. So we went through the herbal aloe. The act is a prebiotic, the simply probiotic, and also the 21-day AM/PM product. Now, next system we're going to deal with is going to be the skeletal system. And I actually have my book to show you, because guess how many bones and joints, by the way, guess how many bones and joints there are in the body. So here's a picture of the bones, and of course there's joints there too, but you have 206 bones. And you've got, are you ready for this, Shlomo? 360 joints that are in the body. So if you've got 206 bones and 360 joints, and that is what helps you move around, it's so very important to be using the Extra Cal product, men and women, and to be using it. I've used it since I was in my 20s. And for myself, because I have a sensitivity to cow milk and cow products, I actually use 2-3 times a day of the Extra Cal. But my bones and my nails, I'm just so strong. The other thing is and let me just tell you about the Extra Cal. The Extra Cal, by the way, I've got my little book too. The Extra Cal is not just a calcium and vitamin D. By the way, you have to have vitamin D in order for calcium to be brought into the bone. So there's a lot of products out there that just have calcium, and it'll do absolutely nothing if there's no vitamin D. So the Extra Cal isn't just vitamin D and calcium. It actually has trace elements like selenium. It's got herbs in there. And what it really is write this down, a bone strengthener. There is, and the joint support, between the joint support and the extra cal, because joint support also have things that help strengthen the bones, but it knits the bones together so amazingly. And who has an amazing result on this is Bill Klaus. But what I can tell you is that when I've had people that have broken their bones, that right, I actually have told them that what I've done with people close to me is I have them use 2-3 times a day along with the joint support. And what has happened is they have actually sped up the process of the bone mending, because it's not that Herbalife will cure it, it's that Herbalife gives the body what it needs, so then the body can do what it needs to do. So bones that were going to take 6 to 8 weeks to heal by what the doctor said, and the normal person that's not on a nutritionally strong program, people started getting results within 4 and 5 weeks, being completely mended. So that's how important that is, when you realize how much you have. And by the way, when you hear of elderly people that have tripped and they fell and then they broke a bone, in more cases than not, really what happened, the bone was so fragile that it actually broke first and then the person fell. The other thing that I want to tell you about the, oh gosh, it just flew around my head. This tell you also. Okay, that one's going to fly back to me because I want to go on to the next. But it's going to fly back to me because it's really, really important. I promise it's going to fly back. Let's now, oh, this is it. It flew back. Okay, so here's what happens. Your body needs a certain amount of calcium, a certain amount of things to function every single day. And what happens is this. If your body does not get what it needs, the body is so amazing that it actually starts taking from itself. And it will take it, and this is how osteoporosis comes about, by the way. It will take it from the strongest area that is the richest in that particular thing that the body needs. So if you're not taking in the right amount of calcium that your body needs and it's being absorbed, then your body will take it from itself. Where will it take it? It will take it from the bone. And that's how thinning of the bones comes about, because the body needs those nutrients daily. And if it's not getting, the body will get it from itself. Next, we'll go into the deal with, okay, muscles. Okay, I'm telling you, people know more about their car and how their car works and where things are in their car than people know about the body. And as I go through all these statistics of how the body works and how many things there are, and it's so mind-blowing to realize that that's all packed within yourself, the more you realize that you really need to start taking care of it. So now let's go with muscles. So muscles, front and back, right? So guess how many muscles there are in the body? Anybody have any guesses here? I'm going to tell you, just for speeding up the process. 650 muscles are in the body. Every single cell, the 70 trillion cells to 100 trillion cells, every single cell needs protein. The muscle is basically made of protein. So what do we have to help support the muscular system? We have the healthy meal. We also have the protein drink mix. We also have the we also have a brand new product that was just released today that is from the 24 line, that is 5 different types of proteins that will actually release at different times throughout the day to help the body sustain, especially if you're working out. We also have the beverage mix. We also have the personalized protein powder. So we have a lot of different things that help with supplying the body with protein. So here's the important thing. If your body is not getting the right amount of protein for itself, which for protein you need at least, when you're losing weight, you need at least half your body weight in grams of protein with a 15-gram leeway. Now, how do people use it for weight gain and to build muscle? You use the same amount of grams as your weight in order to gain muscle. I'm sure you've gone to the gym and you've seen guys that are working out, and they're not getting anywhere. They still look the same after 6 months to a year. The difference is because they're not feeding, where the 80-20 rule comes in, which is 80% nutrition, 20% working out. If you're not giving the body what it needs, and when it comes to muscles, it needs the protein in order to build itself, it will not build. In fact, if you're not taking in the right amount of protein for yourself, then what happens is, and the body, every single cell of the body needs it, then the body will take it from its richest source, which is the muscle. So you want to know how, as you get older, how you can lose muscle mass is by not, and slowing down your metabolism is by not giving the body what it needs protein-wise to feed the 650 muscles plus the 70 to 100 trillion cells that are in your body. By the way, your heart is a muscle. So if you want a strong heart, it's important that you feed it right. Okay, let's go on to the next. The nervous system. You know what's so amazing about the nervous system? Guess how many miles of nerves you have in your nervous system? Anybody have a guess? I want you to just write it out. Write out what you think. So here's the nervous system. Okay, there is 46 miles of nerves. So what do we have that helps the nervous system? And by the way, this is the beauty of Herbalife. Herbalife made the products so they all work synergistically. So if you're using all the products, which I pretty much am, I'm not using, the 24 line, I don't use because I use it in the other line, but except for like the CR7 and things, but so amazing is it, whatever you're using, it can all work together. I used to have people say to me when they'd see my tablet box, oh my gosh, Karla, you're going to take all of that? And I'd say, well, yeah, isn't that too much? I say, no, this one works on the skeletal system. This works on the nervous system. This works on the cardiovascular system. They all work on different systems of the body. And Herbalife has made it to where there's not too much of anything if you're taking all of it, just so you know. So the nervous system, 46 miles. There's 3 products that help really well. Not just Relax Now, which Relax Now is amazing. And you use it depending how you use the Relax Now, which is all herbal. It's non-addictive. Is that you use it according to your own personal need. So some people need more than 1. That's the suggested. But some people need 2, and some people need 3 at one time. So it's about the amount that you take for that particular person. So I always like to start people off on 2, and then if they're too relaxed, right, and they're less stressed, then back them down to 1. If 2 isn't enough, then move it to okay. And what I love about the Relax Now is that you can use it during the day because it doesn't make your mind slow or make you tired. It just calms the 46 miles of nerves. Another product that's excellent for the nervous system is the Extra Cal and also Dung Quai. Now, next, let's go into the cardiovascular system. So the cardiovascular system, I don't have a picture of this because it's all the, so but if you add up all the blood vessels, all the capillaries, all the veins, and you did it end to end, how many miles of blood vessels in totality does your body contain? First of all, Shlomo, do you know what the circumference of the Earth is? Around the Earth, around the globe?
Do I know what?
You know the circumference of the Earth.
Speak English, please.
Do you know how many miles it is to go from here all the way around the Earth and back if you went in a straight line?
No, I didn't measure it yet.
It's 24,901 miles around the middle of the earth. The blood vessels in your body, are you ready for this? 100,000 miles of arteries, veins, and capillaries. That means 4 times around the earth is how much you have in blood vessels. Now, realizing that, how important is it to keep those strong and keep them clean and to keep them healthy? I would say pretty dang much, right? So we've got a whole cardiovascular line that is, every single one of these products is backed up by a Nobel Prize winning doctor, Dr. Louis Ignarro, and we have the only product on this earth that is backed up by a Nobel Prize winning doctor who did his research in nitric oxide, which, by the way, is the most abundant element in the body. What a molecule in a oxide. So when you look at the, Nightworks, I use this product 2 to 3 times a day. This product I put it in with my herbal concentrate. Actually, I have a concoction that has Nightworks, herbal concentrate, herbal aloe, probiotic, beauty boost. Is that 5 products? 5 in 1. And I drink that 2 to 3 times a day. So this the Nightworks is excellent for circulation, and it's also good for maintaining the strength and making it so the blood vessels have more flexibility to them. The Herbal Lifeline is the one that Herbalife came out with 3 years before medical science came out with it. And I believe I talked about that last week. The omega-3s. That came out in 1980, the end, I believe, of 1982, or the beginning of January of 1983. And the one that did all the research with the Eskimos. But it was omega-3s, yet they had 0 heart disease, even though they were eating blubber, right? But they were eating blubber from a whale, and it was rich in omega-3s. It wasn't the bad saturated fats. And that he did all his research on that. And he's the one that helped Herbalife bring the Herbal Lifeline into being. So that is the cardiovascular. Now, also, like I said, because of the heart, right? The heart has to pump all of it. It is absolutely phenomenal what the heart has to do. Being a muscle, right? But the blood, to go through those 100,000 miles of blood vessels, veins, and arteries, guess how long it takes the body to pump from the beginning all the way circulate and back, Shlomo? 1 minute. 1 minute.
1 minute to circulate
for the blood,
huh?
the body. Yes. 1 minute. So for your heart to be strong, that's also why it's important to do healthy, active lifestyle, right? But it's also because the heart is a muscle that you take in the right amount of protein and give the body what it needs. Okay, now.
Wait. Can you repeat that? It takes 1 minute to circulate?
Yes.
Say it again.
Back to the heart to be replenished with oxygen. So it goes out red, right? The oxygen all the way goes down to the toes and comes back blue because all the oxygen has been used, and it comes back to the heart again. It takes 1 minute.
Oh, okay. So for the oxygen, because it's funny because I just talked with my daughter today, like how long it takes to all your blood in your body to circulate, how many times your blood circulates in your body in a day. Because my daughter just in a nursing school, and we talk about this today, so it's funny. Okay,
Yes.
so that was oxygen. Okay, no problem.
It's amazing what the heart needs. So it's so important, and that's why a high fat, high salt, high sugar, high calories, high junk food, you really, need to take aim at your health. What's so amazing is with my own kids. You know, they're 24 and 17. They have never been to the doctor for a sick visit, which is like unheard of. But when you give the body what it needs, and then you teach, and not only through drinking purified water and getting that 20% to pump that heart, to keep that heart strong, it's amazing how the body is so resilient and so amazing. And people take it for granted and they trash it, especially in the United States. That's why we're 35th, 35th in the healthiest country. Yeah, we have the most food supply. Now the skin. The skin is the largest organ in the entire body. And the skin covers between, depending on how tall you are, whatever, between 16 to 21 square feet. And what's so great is that Herbalife has products all for the skin. By the way, the skin needs collagen. The Beauty Boost is absolutely amazing for that. I am so grateful that we have a collagen product. I love that product because it's made such a difference in my skin, my hair, my nails. But we've got products that for skincare. And I want to say something about the herbal aloe gel real quick. For teenagers, or if you have problematic skin and you get a lot of acne. By the way, what is acne? Acne is poisons coming out through the skin. So number one, they need to help cleanse the inside of their body with good nutrition and, you know, detoxify and have the right amount of water and all of that, and eliminate the junk that they're putting in there. If they need help with not craving sweets, that's what the NRGs are for, but also what the protein is for. By the way, let me go back to protein for just a moment because I realized that I skipped over this very important part, although I did mention it. But I was talking about your metabolism, because your metabolism is all dependent upon, a lot of it is dependent upon the percentage of muscle mass you have in your body. So the higher percent in muscle mass, the more you can increase your metabolism, and you also can build muscle. So it is as you age, you will lose muscle mass. The only way you lose muscle mass, whether you're young or old, is if you're not taking in the right amount of protein and your body is not absorbing it, period. So if you want to increase your metabolism, you increase the percentage of your muscle mass. And what's so amazing is the more muscle you have, the more calories are burned naturally in a resting state. But back to the skin. So the herbal aloe gel is excellent to put on the skin for anybody that has any type of skin condition. Put it on nice and thick, like I always suggest also with the Herbalife skin mask. But you put the gel on, a nice thick layer. What's so great about it is it's not sticky, or, you know, it dries nicely, so it doesn't stick you to the pillow or anything. But it's also excellent for hydrating your skin as you get older. So you can use either the mask or you can use the herbal aloe gel before you go to bed at night. The herbal as a hair gel for my hair. It's also amazing for when you get a cut or a burn. But what's so amazing about and to me, the herbal aloe gel needs to be in every single medicine cabinet and in your car and in your purse, because if you get bit by a bee, it'll help take away the pain from a bee sting or any kind of bite. By the way, also for muscle, what I wanted to mention, sorry, I'm going back, is the dung quai. Dung quai is a natural muscle relaxer. I also want to say dung quai for the blood vessels because it's also a natural blood purifier. So the dung quai you can use in place of aspirin. So that is another product that is something that I feel every household needs. And in China, they have what's called dang quai soup, and they start, as soon as you become a teenager as a female, they have you drinking the dang quai soup daily. They didn't, menopause, the word menopause. It's amazing to help you not have menopausal symptoms. So, David, if you were worried about your menopause, just get on the dang quai. So, what I suggest is that you have what makes this business go, what makes Herbalife, what has made Herbalife grow to where it is today, which last year was our largest amount of business we've done. And like I've said before, 7.7 billion needs to be done in the United States. And now you can all see why, because we're 37th in being the healthiest country, right? And we're 12th in being overweight. So there's actually more disease, more overweight, and more unhealthy people 39 years later after Herbalife got started than what it was back in 1980. We have a huge mission just in the United States alone. But what I suggest is that you get an arsenal of results, because results is what builds this company. Results is what gives. I can tell you practically almost every single product and give you a result of what has happened on that product. If not to me, what's happened with my kids or my friends or my clients. So it's important that you get that arsenal, because that's where your confidence comes in. That's where your strength comes in. That's where your ability to talk to others comes in with confidence and get them results. Now, Shlomo just stepped away, but if you guys have questions up to this part, because now what I'm going to go into is I'm going to give 5 tips for helping people get off plateaus. I'm going to give you guys something brand new that you've never heard of before, that we've been doing in the Nutrition Club, and it's working like crazy. So what I want to do, if you guys have questions up until now about any of the products that I covered, write it in. Or if you have, I'd like to also know, did you know any of those facts that I just gave you about your own body? It's amazing how important it is. By the way, also for the nervous system is the sleep now, because it's very important that you are able to rest and sleep well through the night. I also want to say that if you know anybody that has sleeping problems that is in fluorescent lighting all day long, fluorescent lighting can actually throw off your own body's rhythmic ability to sleep. So the sleep now is also a part of the nervous system. So, Shlomo, has any questions come in? If not, I'm going on to the 5 different ways to break a plateau.
There was one question. Ask her, what is glucosamine acts in extracal?
Glucosamine is something that helps with the joints, and it's also in the joint support. So glucosamine is a very important, it's part of the whole 206 and 300 and how many, 360 joints there are in the body. And the bone, the joints are connected to the bone. Important part to work with that. What was that question that just came from Gloria?
Hold on a second. What is Doncolide? D-O-N-C-L-Y-D.
I don't know.
Don Clyde.
Ah, dang quai. It's an herb from China. Dang quai. And so dang quai is our product. It's in the women's section, but it really needs to be in the men's section too, because it's a natural muscle relaxant. But dang quai has been around, oh my gosh, since 1982. I think 82. It was here when I first going, I think, or it just started, just came out. But the dang quai helps with, it's the soup that I just told, but it's an herb that comes from China. And what it helps with is menstrual cramps because it can help with naturally relaxing menstrual cramps. And so it also can help with PMS. And PMS stands for pack my suitcase, if men have had to deal with PMS with women. But no, it'll also help with PMS. It helps with balancing the hormonal system. But it also is a natural muscle relaxer. It's also a blood purifier, right? So it does many. Good question.
Okay, there was another question. When we get dark spot in the Formula 2 multivitamin, can we still take the vitamin?
Yes, yes, you can. What that means is it means that you have not taken them consistently. I can tell you that right now, because it's from oxygen in the air. So it's oxidizing a little bit, but you can still take it. But the thing is that when you use it consistently, it will not have dark spots in it that come on. Now, naturally, there's a little bit of brown dots in that tablet because that's part of the minerals, that's part of the vitamins, that's part of the fruits and vegetables. That's a normal thing. But if you get dark spots growing on your Formula 2, that means that you are not taking it.
So you busted when it's dark?
That's right. You're busted.
You busted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see.
And I personally take 2-3 times a day of the Formula 2. So I don't just have optimal health, I have superb health. By the way, everybody needs to get a PhD in Herbalife. You know what a PhD stands for? Phenomenal. That's what it stands for. That's a PhD. So I got my PhD in Herbalife.
No,
how?
PhD
By getting product results.
PhD is professional Herbalife distributor. Excuse
me, that sucks. Phenomenal Herbalife distributor is so much better. Professional sucks.
Okay,
I'm just telling you.
No, okay.
I'm just telling you.
Got it.
I know you've heard that before, but I'm the one that came out with PhD, and that is for a phenomenal Herbalife distributor.
Okay. So,
I would rather be phenomenal than professional because you can be professional and suck. But if you're phenomenal, you're phenomenal.
Okay, what about somebody asked about expiration date for the product?
You mean in their own personal use? It can be, well, I have my own theory on expiration date. But if like when I was moving, I found some product that that was stored away back in the back of a cabinet or whatever, right? Because I always have so much product around. Will I use it if there's an expiration date? Just telling you. And I have never had a problem. But I mean, if the herbal aloe has turned a color and it's darker, then you do not take it. But as far as the tablets are concerned and the lift off, I mean, unless it's been opened, they always told us that it's always good for 2 years as long as it has not been opened. And that's not an expiration date. A lot of them, it is the manufacturing date of when it was actually manufactured, not the expiration. So you got to pay attention. Okay, are you ready to find out the 5 ways to bust a plateau and get phenomenal results? Yes.
Talk
so
to
number
us.
Number one, I gave you last week, which was the 25 question quiz. And Dion had amazing results that she talked about in the House of Champions. And now she's realizing how much gluten or has had an impact in a negative way that she didn't even realize. The next
is there
way,
gluten in oats?
No, gluten is wheat.
So when people eat oats, is not a problem.
The oats that they have to eat, though, is the actual old-fashioned oats from Quaker Oats. If you get like a microwavable, which by the way, I'm not a fan of microwave, but the microwavable kind and the instant oats and all that, I wouldn't even touch it. It doesn't have the fiber. It doesn't have what you need. And some of those are mixed in with gluten because they add different things to it. But I know that Quaker natural original oats are gluten-free.
Okay.
Okay, so you got that. Next.
I know that we post before the 25 question, but somebody wrote that if we can repost it.
They need to watch the video from last week.
Okay.
5-question quiz yet. If they scroll up, they'll find it. Next is what is called insulin resistance. Okay, which means that you want your body to burn more of the simple carbs and have more time to be able to burn simple carbs. So what I call is my 4 o'clock club. So the 4 o'clock club is where you stop simple carbs at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You can have complex carbs, but not simple carbs. And that way it gives your body time to utilize and work and get rid of all those simple carbs. So it will be like, you know, if it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon that you stop your simple carbs and you get up at 8 o'clock the next morning, that just gave your body 16 hours to burn those simple carbs. Why is it important to burn those simple carbs? The reason why is because when you have excess carbohydrates, they convert to sugar and then can lose fat and lose, you know, weight, and you're having difficulty. Now, these 5 busting tips that I'm giving you are only for people that are having difficulty or a challenge. A lot of people can just get on the product, have 1-2 healthy meals a day, eat a main meal, and have a healthy protein or 2 in a day, and lose weight like crazy. So I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people that are having a challenge and they say they're doing it exactly right and they're having a problem. That's when these 5 things come into play. That makes sense? So the 4 o'clock club is amazing. And do the 4 o'clock club for 14 days and watch your results. It's amazing. Amazing. So you can have complex carbohydrates, which is not fruit. It's not rice. It's not potato. It's not any carbohydrate like that. It's a vegetable complex carbohydrate that has fiber in it. So like zucchini, salad, like that, not corn. So if you need to look up what complex carbohydrates are, minus stuff. It's basically vegetables, the right vegetables that aren't high in starch. Okay, the next is the 5 personal numbers for your body. Now, I've gone through, so number 1 is the protein, having the right amount of protein for your body, which I just gave you guys, so write this down. It is half your body weight in ounces of protein. And you can have a 15 grams, not ounces, grams. You can have a 15-gram leeway. Second is having the right amount of carbohydrates. For women that are 5'5" and under, it's really again half your body weight in carbohydrates. That's what it is. Then water, very important, half your body weight in ounces. Then some moving and grooving. If you're not moving and grooving at all, then I suggest 30 minutes, 3 days a week, 15 minutes out the door, 15 minutes back. Already moving and grooving, then step it up to 5 days a week if you're only doing 3. And if you're already doing 5 days a week of at least 30 minutes, then up it to 45 minutes. Because what you need to do is burn more calories than what your body is taking in. So that leads us to the next one, which is calories. You're going to fall into you cannot go below 1,200 calories, and that is why Formula 2 is so important. because when you cut back on food, it's very important for you to also be able to get the right amount of nutrition, so you're not angry and irritable or craving. So that formula 2 is very important for weight loss. Okay, so that's your 5 personal numbers. I saw the question. We'll get that after the laugh. Then number 3, wait. That was number 3, because I did the gluten quiz, the 5 personalized numbers, the 4 o'clock club. The next one, I'm going to tell you about this. This was going to be the, so I'll go with the 5th. And this is the special thing that I want to give you. But I wanted it to, right, this is number 5, because it has 5 things in it, okay? So the 5 things, I call it the belly buster, okay? So the belly buster, let me see if I should have my bottle. Yes, this is the belly buster, okay? So this is a 72-ounce bottle, actually a 78-ounce bottle that you can actually get from the 99-cent store here in California. So you fill it up and they put 5 things in it. You put herbal concentrate, and I'll tell you the reason why you do each one of these. Herbal aloe. You also put in the beverage mix. You also put in the active fiber, and you also put in probiotic. So there's 5 things that go in the belly buster. So why those 5 things? And it's amazing how it's helping people so much. First of all, when you put in the prebiotic, when you have fiber in your body, that helps you naturally not want to be as hungry, but it'll also help get your system moving properly because people are too low in fiber. The beverage mix is in there because it gives you 15 grams of protein. If you are larger, like 200 or more pounds, then I suggest you double up on that. So then you get 30 grams of protein. But the protein does what? The protein will help balance your blood sugar and help so you're not hungry. The water is important because if you are 3% dehydrated, your body can mistake that for hunger. The Simply Probiotics, so it's putting the good bacteria in your intestinal tract. And Hippocrates said, all health and disease starts in the gut, which is in the intestinal tract. So it's very important to have a very strong, healthy intestinal tract. But what you do is you drink this throughout the day. And you got to get this in. And it's amazing. It's at the Nutrition Club. In Spanish, we call it the chupa panza, which means suck your stomach. But in America, we call, I call it the belly buster. So do this for 7 days, right? So that is for, I really want to know what that's for, but I have one more for you. And I saw a question about night works with high blood pressure. So Shlomo, if you want to get me the questions while I'm looking for what I did with my 5 things for.
So the first question was, a person with high blood pressure, can they use Nitwork 3 times a day? And
okay, well, first of all,
and how many serving each? Like how many servings each?
First of all, they're probably on high blood pressure medication. Is this person overweight that has high blood pressure? That's the first thing normally that creates high blood pressure. If they are borderline high blood pressure and they don't need medication. If it was my mother or myself, by the way, Shlomo, you want to be impressed? My resting heart rate is 64.
64.
That is like 64 resting heart rate, which is like an athlete, correct?
You probably do a lot of exercise, huh?
I don't do a lot of exercise. I probably get my 10,000 steps in, but it's not like I'm working out all the time, but I take night works 3 times a day. So if and my blood pressure is 118 over 68. Sometimes it goes to 114 over 65. That is a very, very healthy blood pressure. And I still have 15 more pounds to lose. So, but my blood pressure was like that even when my blood pressure was like that even when I had my almost 65 pounds on me. My blood pressure was still the same, which is pretty dang amazing. And that's because I take night works, 2 scoops 3 times a day.
All right, good. Somebody
They're
asked.
not on medication. They need to first, if they're overweight, they need to start losing weight.
Okay.
Yes.
Somebody asked if you can repeat the Belly Buster ingredient.
You can watch back the video and see it because we need to go on to the next.
I like it when it's come from you.
Do this in a short period of time because I got people on the East Coast and we're almost at the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, we have 1 minute.
Yeah, so is there any other questions? First, I'd like to hear the feedback. So if you could open up all the lines.
All right. It's going to be chaos if I open all the line, but we can go one by one.
Just don't be loud. Just don't be loud.
Carla.
Belly Buster, you didn't give the percentage, how much you're using of each thing.
Well, you follow the directions on each one of those containers. And if you use a little bit more than a half a teaspoon of the herbal tea concentrate, then put in the amount that you normally take in.
Carla.
Yes.
The Dun Cloud, I was looking in the book. I don't see Dun Cloud. Are you talking about the Woman's Choice?
It looks like Tang Chewy. TANGKUI.
Oh, okay.
Tang
Okay.
Chewy, but it's pronounced Dung Kwai.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But in Texas, they call it Tang Chewy.
I know. Okay.
Okay, is there another question? Does Dion have a question? David, you got to have a question. Inez. I don't know how to say your name. Shlomo, was this helpful to you?
My dog have a question, but I try to understand what they're asking. So
I know. You're trying to get the translation. But Shlomo, did you learn some things? Was this new for you, what you learned today?
I learned that it takes 1 minute for the oxygen to travel throughout your body.
It's called a stroke volume.
I learned
Pat,
a lot.
Pat Klaus.
Yes. One thing I'd like to ask you, though, you gave the Belly Buster, but you gave the ingredients that were in it. What is the amount of each ingredient that you put in the Belly Buster?
So that was already asked, and I said you follow the directions that's on each one of the containers. But if you use more than a half a teaspoon of the herbal concentrate, which I personally do, I use 1.5 teaspoons of herbal probiotic. But you can use just one if that's what you normally do. Active fiber, you can use 1 scoop of the active fiber what mango or the wild berry protein drink mix. You can use 2 scoops, which is 15 grams, or you can use 4 scoops if you're 200 pounds or more.
And the herbal aloe?
Carla, I got a question.
It says 3 capfuls. So it's individual preference, but the thing is, if you just follow what the labels say, that's plenty. But make sure, and very important, that you're drinking 78 ounces of water with it.
Okay.
Water is a very important thing with it. But you can have all day long, unless you don't want to drink it at night. Yes?
How many ounces you say?
How many pounds what?
How many ounces
Ounces,
of water?
78.
Ounces.
More than a
But then
gallon?
a portion, pardon?
No, a gallon
It's
is
more than a
128.
gallon?
No.
No, a gallon is 124 ounces.
That's right. Thank you, Carla.
Carla, I got
So,
a question to ask you.
yes.
When you do the quiz, like I just wanted to ask you, like at the office, when somebody comes in new, you do the quiz with them to find out if they have, you said 5 and more no's, that means that they have the allergy to the gluten, correct?
No, they do not have an allergy. I never said it's an allergy. I said they could have a sensitivity.
Sensitivity, sorry, sensitivity, yes, that's the one. It's 11
Make
o'clock.
sure that you do that. Otherwise, it sounds like you're diagnosing.
Yes, you're right, you're right.
Don't do that.
It's 11 o'clock at night, yes, you're right.
Yes.
So the sensitivity that they have, that which I find that it's true, a lot of people have that, and they take different types of remedies and different types of medical, but it's true, it could be just gluten. So do you immediately tell them to get off gluten and then you put them on Formula 1, 2, and 3?
Well, no, first of all, you only do the gluten sensitivity test. This is 5 tips to help speed up weight loss. So the thing is that make sure that you don't get them on, you should already have them on the product. And there is 11 of the 13 Formula 1s that are gluten-free. The ones that have gluten in it is the cookies and cream and the mint chocolate.
No, but I'm talking about a new customer, a new person.
I'm talking
I just
about a new customer too. I don't do this for a new customer. I do this
nice.
for one that has a hard problem with taking it, because a lot of people just getting on the product will help them. But this is when you have a problem, when they are not getting results and they have a lot of health situations. That's when you can give them the 25 question quiz.
So
I
do you
don't
put
tell
them?
them get off.
Yes. No, of course, of course.
And if I
But you
tell
also
you what to do, or if I told Shlomo what to do, you can have an adverse reaction to that. You basically, if you end up like Dion that had, I think, 18 yeses out of 25, you have, the more there's probably a situation going on with sensitivity. So if you want to correct it, just try it out. And it's suggested on the 25 question quiz what to do.
And in a general way, you put the person first of all on a full program. I mean, where there's no money issue and they just want to lose a little bit of weight, but also get good nutrition. You start with the
What do you call a full program?
Formula 1, 2, and 3, the core products.
The core product, and then most people have energy, and if they need to lose weight, they might need to use the total control, which next week I'll go into the enhancers.
Okay, because I promote right away also the cardiovascular. I can promote right away the Nightworks and omega-3.
Well, first use it. Use it and get a result with it. So that brings me back to this. When you start with your personal results, and I mean, you can use it along with somebody, but don't start like 4 products all at one time. Start with 1 product. Use it for like a week. So then you know it's that product that made the difference. Then add in another product. Now, the skincare line, you don't have to do that with pretty much. But the internal ones, you want to see what result that particular product is giving you. So start 1 product at a time and get a result.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Carla, what do you tell someone? What do you tell someone that says that they're lactose intolerant?
Well, then get off cow everything. Get off cow everything. So we have products that are dairy free. That's what pina colada is, French vanilla, Dutch chocolate. A lot of them are dairy free. You don't want to put them on dulce de leche. That means sweet milk. You don't want to put on anything that says cream, which is, you know, cookies and cream, right?
Okay.
So you don't want to put pralines and cream. That means there's milk.
Okay.
So support them in being, you know.
Okay.
No cow. That means, but they need to realize that also means cheese. That also means yogurt. That also means ice cream. But you can get alternatives. You can get almond ice cream. You can get coconut ice cream. You can get coconut milk. So there's alternatives.
Okay.
Also, the strictly kosher is non-dairy at all. So if you guys,
I'm sorry. What did you say, Shlomo?
The strictly kosher Formula 1, strictly kosher.
Okay.
Is a non-dairy, so not
Okay.
okay. So that
Okay.
one. Also, I see that Sylvia have a question. So Sylvia, ask your question.
Not exactly a question, because Eres is asking about gluten. What I know, the wheat is one of the grains that has gluten, but also barley, rye, and sugar. Like if you're gluten sensitive, you should avoid those other grains also. Those are
Absolutely. Anything that yes, absolutely.
most
Like
things
Boulder.
are already naturally gluten free. Those are the 4 grains that have natural gluten in it.
If it has gluten, I wouldn't use it. I'm sorry. And once you go gluten free, and then you try that particular personally for me, I answered 22 yeses out of 25. I've been off of gluten for many years now. Every so often I can have something that has, and I'm okay as long as I take 2 NRGs and 2 Shazandras. But the thing is that if it's when you keep building up gluten, building it up, and then your system is just overloaded and it says, I can't take any more. So I would suggest you, if you're going to be gluten-free, you need to do it for 7 days. If you've scored high, do it for 7 days. And then you'll see the difference. And then you make up your own mind. So I never tell anybody, this is going back to Inez in Canada, I never tell somebody what to do. I give suggestions and let them come up with it, what they want to do. But I tell them the benefit, how much better I feel, how it changed my life around, how it tripled my energy getting off gluten. Within 24 hours, I felt 15 years younger. That was
right,
huge.
now.
Huge. Any other questions, Shlomo? Was this helpful to you guys?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Do you think they'll like it in San Diego?
There was other question, but you already answered. Somebody asked to the. Somebody asked again to the belly buster recipe. We just tell them watch again this video.
I'm going to tell you one more time. Write it down really fast. There's 5 ingredients. Number 1, herbal concentrate tea. Herbal aloe. Is the second.
Probiotic.
Probiotic. Active fiber. And
Drink mix.
the protein drink mix. Well, not protein drink mix. It's the
Beverage drink.
it's either the wild berry or the mango.
And 78 ounces of water.
It's the beverage drink mix.
Oh,
And
yeah.
find a container where you have at least 78 ounces of water. And I
drink
mix it all in.
And drink it all day.
It's so amazing. And the reason why, somebody said, why not at night? Because it has herbal concentrate in it. And if you want to stay awake, that's fine. Get it done by 5 o'clock. But I'll just tell you a couple of results that people have gotten in the nutrition club without doing anything different. People are losing inches and pounds without even doing anything different, just adding this in. But also it's been helping diabetics feel so much better and give people more energy throughout the day, not because of the herbal concentrate, but because of the whole thing together. It's not just, it's how they all work together that is so wonderful.
I drink like 4 cups of tea a day, 5 cups.
Well, I don't know what tea you're drinking, but what I have is herbal concentrate. Which is totally different than any other tea I've ever heard of.
It's unbelievable. A blend of five fabulous herbs.
I'm sorry, but I'm a stickler for that, you guys.
I
And
know.
the reason why is because when you say tea to somebody, how special is that? It's like calling yourself.
Everybody drinks tea.
But when you say that it is herbal concentrate, nobody knows what that is. Then their ears open up, and then you get to tell them what it is and how it affects you and how it makes you happy and how it gives you energy and how it makes you feel great throughout the day.
Now, Carla, I put collagen in mine.
Yes, I put everything in mine. So my super duper belly buster can be added in Nightworks and collagen. But I'm just telling you the basic 5. But I gotta tell you, people that were having trouble with constipation, people that were having, which by the way, America is one big constipated country. And also people that, you know, were finding themselves hungry before, once they started on the belly buster, they found they weren't hungry and wanting to crave and eat and drink bad stuff throughout the day. But measure them in 7 areas, at least, which is the chest, butt, one arm in the middle of the arm, the waist, which is the last rib, that's where the waist is once you get to the last rib. The tummy is right a half an inch below the belly button. The hips at the biggest part, the middle of the butt. The upper thigh, one thigh at the upper part where it's the thickest. And the calf. That's 7 areas. And you're going to see some massive inch loss.
I know.
Now you double the arms and you double the legs and whatever was lost in those areas, because you have 2 of them and you didn't just lose off the one that you measured. You lost off the other one too. Otherwise you'd look like the elephant man at the end. Okay, Shlomo, I think that's it.
No, Coach K, you have a question.
I have one question. Because of all the years that we've been on the products, we have results on each one. How do we share that without getting in trouble?
Give me one, and I'll show you how.
I started on Lifeline and Aloe. I added those 2 to the workout program.
What aloe? I don't know an aloe.
The aloe vera drink.
I don't know what aloe vera drink you're talking
Herbal
about.
aloe.
Oh, that one, the special one that Herbalife makes. Yes, that one. I got it. You started on Lifeline and Herbal Aloe. Go ahead.
I had a lot of arthritis and back pain, and about 7 or 8 weeks on the product, that pain went away. And I dealt with that pain for 3 or 4 years with all kinds of doctors and chiropractors and
Yes. So what you can say, well, you know, if you look up omega-3s, by the way, it is something that helps with joints and things like that. But what you can say is, I don't know exactly how it all happened, but when I gave my body good nutrition and I added in some specialty products like the Herbal Lifeline, which is omega-3s, and the Herbal Aloe, is amazing, because the pain in my joints that I was having a severe pain with before, but that's because I gave my body must have been missing something nutritionally.
Okay. Now, I know we have to be a little careful about making any kind of a claim.
Well, I told San Diego to just put on my mouth a disclaimer the whole time I'm up there talking.
Okay,
just put a disclaimer over my mouth.
Perfect.
Is that it?
Dion. Hello, this is Dion.
Okay, Dion, hi, sweetie. Goodness, not your friend.
I'm having a challenge.
Yeah.
My team members have been on Dr. Benji's side. They are meeting a lot of slack in that people
Wait, I can't. Shlomo, can you hear her question? Mute everybody out but Dion, please.
How can
Hold on, Dion. Hold on. Shlomo.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Go ahead, Dion.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So some of my team members are having great difficulty speaking to persons about the products.
To do what?
Now,
What are they having difficulty with, Shlomo?
because persons about Herbalife.
I don't know. Our line is really bad. We cannot hear.
They're having difficulty speaking to clients about Herbalife because of the death of Dr. Vendries.
Oh my goodness. That was during a back surgery. That's from some doctor that did it while he was on the operating table. Excuse me. That had nothing to do with Herbalife products.
Yes, and they're claiming that Herbalife has been killing people. An article came out from India recently.
I know that article. Let me tell you something, Dion. If there was one frickin' death in 39 years, which it was not Herbalife, I'll tell you that right now. If there was one frickin' death in 30 products on the market for the millions and millions and millions and millions in the 94 countries that we're in. But I know, okay, so that's like saying, oh, that nutritional organic apple just killed you.
Yep.
You
So
got to realize it's nutrition. And let me tell you, Dion, let me tell you, the reason why I'm coming off strong like this is because that's nothing compared to what we went through in 1985, okay? And why I'm coming off strong is because people are asking out of ignorance. Set them straight. He died on the operating table for back surgery. It had nothing to do with Herbalife. And you know what? I got on these products, you wouldn't believe it. I used to have no energy before. I got on these products the very first day my energy tripled. I've been able to go from a size 22 to a size 8. I feel fantastic. I look fantastic. How would you like to look and feel fantastic? I can help you.
Awesome. So I
You see
hope
what
my
I'm saying?
team
It's all in the
members
attitude. It's all in the attitude. But if you're like, oh my gosh. And let me tell you, a lot of people try to sue Herbalife because we have done 7.7 money for it.
Yep.
Every huge company gets sued. It's BS. It's nothing.
Every company, yeah. But guess what? You're going to, I mean, look, they used to say, okay, let me tell you, in 1985, they came on the TV saying that Herbalife killed people. They said that babies were dying from it. I mean, come on.
They're saying kidney problems, this problems. It's nothing to do with anything.
Kidney,
you know?
this, that.
It's got nothing. It's people that have issues and they try to blame it to get money. Just like the lady that got millions for spilling coffee in McDonald's. It's all BS.
Okay, so what I've been saying
you
is
gotta understand,
somebody died.
Dr. Van Dries was on the operating table. I would go sue the doctor. Excuse me.
What does one thing have to do with the other? One person dies of old age. You're going to blame Herbalife.
Right.
Why don't you blame cornflakes? Why don't you go blame cornflakes because you ate cornflakes in the morning? Go to cornflakes, Kellogg's, and tell them, he ate cornflakes. I want to sue you guys. That's what he's been eating for 40 years. He died now. What kind of a, one thing has to do with the other? I don't understand.
You got it, Dion? So let me tell you, it's all about mindset. It's all about your positive, strong mindset and your belief in the product. I'll tell you what, in 1985, they had people so screwed up, the distributors, whose blood pressure came down, their cholesterol went to normal, they had lost so much weight, they would call up and say, oh my gosh, Carla, I heard this, and I'd have to, I'd be on the phone, I'd literally be slapping them through the phone saying, get your head on straight. What happened to you on these products? Didn't you have diabetes? And were you on medication for diabetes and now you've been able to lose weight and your doctor's been able to take you off the diabetic medication?
How quickly people forget.
You see what I'm saying, Dion? It's a pimple on your butt.
Yes, I wanted you to answer it because I have persons on the call.
Look, I'm just telling you, this is a pimple on Jamaica's butt. This is nothing. And the majority of people, let me tell you something. It's only the distributors that are talking about Dr. Van, ones that really knew who he was. People outside of that don't.
That's true.
So you are someone in Jamaica, a distributor, is poisoning other distributors' minds. So there you go. Come back strong, young lady. That's why, this is the reason why product result is so important. That's where you get your confidence and your strength. So when you go through crap like that, or what the company just came out of a year ago, of being interrogated for the last 5 years over the wrong, saying that we were doing the wrong marketing practices and nobody was retailing the products and we didn't really have customers. That's why having strength, that's why the pillar of strength and the star of this company is the product. Does not matter how much frickin' money you're making. If you're not getting results, there was people that had made $100,000 in a month with Herbalife that quit Herbalife. So it has nothing to do with money. It has everything. Somebody can tell me something's wrong with these products when I've been on them for 37 years, and I had them during my pregnancy, and I nursed my babies with them, and when they were done nursing, I started them on the product, and they've never gone to a doctor's sick visit. Tell me there's a problem. You see what I mean? And it's not like you have to come off that strong, but that's what your mental mindset needs to be. You understand? And the only reason why I came off that strong is because, first of all, I deadly believe in what I'm saying, but I would do it differently with a customer. I wouldn't come off as strong, but I'm trying to infuse you with my strength and confidence, because I've seen everything happen. And the company is still here.
I understand that.
So I think, Carla, Herbalife product cannot kill you, but some distributor can kill you.
With your mindset, if you want that to infect you.
Nobody's saying that the Jamaican rum kills you. That's funny.
Yeah, it doesn't bother anybody's liver.
That's the amazing rum. That doesn't kill anybody. I love that rum, but that doesn't kill nobody. Weird. But Herbalife does.
Carla, I've got to run.
We're all done.
Oh,
Carla, you're gonna have a training for